Failures would define and create your future. So if you're trying to start a new business, you're trying to be successful in your sports career, whatever the fuck it is, you're trying to do something and you keep failing and you're like, man, I want to give up. What the fuck is going on? I can't get anything done. So if you're in that situation, man, let's jump right into this video and see what it is about. In this video, we're going to talk about how your failures will mold and shape your future. As always, my name is Sahas, aka Sosa. Let's get into the video. Failures will make you adopt for harder and more extreme choices in your life. So think about it like this, right? So the more and more you go through failures in your life, you adapt into these failures, right? And once you get into that mindset where you're like, okay, I don't fear the failure anymore. I know what failure looks like. I know how it feels. I know what to do when I'm in there, and I don't fear it at all. Once you have that mindset, you are much more adaptable to make really hard decisions in your life that is essential for you to become successful. So you can make these hard choices because you're no longer afraid of the result, because you know if it's good, it's gonna be good. But if it's gonna be bad, then you know still, I know what it's gonna be like because I've been there before. I know what failure looks like and I'm not afraid of it. So once you get that mindset into your head and once you start knowing what failure looks like, you are much more adaptable to making harder choices in your life, which is essential for you to become successful in your life. Failing enough times in your life will make you a winner. So, it doesn't matter what it is, but look at it like this, right? If you're playing Russian roulette, right, and you have this gun with one bullet, you don't know what bullet is in the chamber, whatever, you keep spinning it, whatever, right? But if you keep spinning it enough, eventually you will catch a bullet. It's the same thing to life, regardless of whatever you're trying to do. If you keep doing it enough, eventually you are going to succeed, right? It might not be the first time, it might be the second time, it might not be the 25th time, but eventually you will get there. So keep pushing and grinding until that day comes to your life. So this is one of the most simple things to understand, is that the more you do, the more you get. If you have that mindset where you're like, I don't care what the outcome is, again, time back to that first step we really talked about, the first point we talked about is that once you don't care about that failure anymore, you can really get out there and start grinding. It's that you don't care about it anymore because you know you have to go through these failures in order for you to become more successful. So it gives you this fresh mindset in your life where when you go through a failure, when you go through some hardships in your life, rather than feeling demotivated about it, rather than feeling like shit after it, you think to yourself, man, it's fucked up, I know, but this is essential for me to win. The failures that I go through today is what's gonna create me into a better person, so one day I can win. Once you have that mindset, it's really easy for you to move forward, and it's really easy from there on. Failure is a sign showing that you are actually trying something. So if you're trying to do something, you might fail. It's simple as that, but only reason you fail is because you're trying something new. The reason you are failing is that you're trying to break out of that barrier, of that comfort zone. You are breaking through that barrier. You're trying to do something new. You're trying to do something that you are not comfortable with doing anymore. You are trying to do something that you have never tried in your life, but you know that is essential for you to become successful one day, regardless of how hard it is, regardless of how painful all these failures is going to be. You know that one day this will mold and create you into a better person. So these are a sign showing to yourself that even though you might not be successful, you're in a path to become successful. So don't be demotivated by it. Embrace it, embrace the pain, and move forward with it. Every time you fail and you move forward and you don't stop, something in you will change. And these changes will make you a better, adaptable person to become successful. For an example, look at it like this. If you're trying to do a crazy kick for the first time in your life, you're not gonna be able to just watch it on YouTube and just go start doing this kick. That's not how things work, right? So you try to do it on the first day, you fail, but your body adapts to it a little bit. The second day you do it, still fail, but you can do it better than you did yesterday. The third day, the fourth day. However, by the 25th day, you're trying to do this same kick again and again and again and again. On the 25th day, you see this sign where you're almost about to do it. It's because your body changed a certain way every single time you failed, making you capable of being a winner today. It's the same thing when it comes to life, man. The more you fail, the more you know, and the more you get adaptable, the more you change, the more behavioral changes you have, the more mental changes you have, more physical changes you have in your life. These things come from failure, and these failures is what creates those changes in your lives, which makes you much more adaptable to becoming a successful person one day. If you fail, now you know what not to do the next time. For an example, think about it like this, right? You try to do something for 25 times. Let's just say you tried to do a new business strategy 25 different ways. You have 25 different business strategies that all fail. Rather than being demotivated by, man, I tried 25 different business moves, none of them work. Rather than being demotivated by it, you can be motivated by it, because when you go into your 26th business strategy, now you know 25 new things to not to do in your 26th strategy. You know 26 things that will fail to prevent your 26th from failing. So rather than looking at how 26 of your things failed or 25 of your things failed, you can look at the bright side and say, now I know 25 things not to do when I try it for the next time. And this is a crazy motivation and change in your mind, because regardless of how many times you fail, now you can look back at it and say, I learned something from that failure. And that's so important in your life. Learn something from your failures every single time, regardless of how hard those failures were, regardless of how painful those failures were. Learn something from that failure. And one more thing I have to add is that if you're trying to do something and it failed, cross it off the list. Don't be the guy to go back to that tomorrow thinking, oh, it might work out today. That's not how life works, right? So the best thing you can do is, if you tried something and it failed, leave it. Try something new, right? For an example, you're trying to wake up in the morning, you keep the alarm, you didn't even fucking hear it, right? So the next day you do the same thing, you keep the alarm again, but you know it's not gonna work because it didn't work yesterday. So why do you think it's gonna work today? It's not gonna work today as well. So try something new. Try connecting it to a speaker so it can be loud. Try keeping your phone somewhere else so you have to stand up and go turn off the alarm, whatever it is. So every time you try something new, always have that mentality where if this works, I'm gonna keep doing it, but if it fails, it fails. I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna be trying the same failed process again and go through this failure again. I'm gonna try something new. I'm gonna learn from this and I'm gonna make a better step. So that's the way you should be thinking so you can move forward in your life. And last but not least, the one thing that I have to tell you is, man, look at everybody who was successful right now. Everybody you want to look at, regardless of whoever it is. It doesn't matter if it's a singer, if it's a rapper, if it's a fucking technician. I don't know who the fuck you look up to, but look at every single one of those people. These people actually failed at least once in their lifetime, and they been going through failures, and that's what created them into a winner. So what make you think that you are special where you don't have to go through these failures to become something? It's all very common for every single one of us. The more you fail, the more you're likely to be successful. So if you fail, don't look down on it. This might be the chance that you get to become the best version of yourself. So if you fail, rather than saying, man, I fucked up, I'm gonna give up, tell yourself, I know something better now. I didn't know this the last time I tried. I am a better person now, and I have this capability of becoming successful, and I have the capability of making it work. And with that being said, I hope you all use these steps and tricks and tips and all these points to become better and become the best version of yourself. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And at the same time, if you have any other ideas and if you have any other things that someone can learn about, anything outside of what I just said today, make sure you leave down a comment so someone can actually learn something even from the comments. And as always, my name is Sosa, aka Sahas. I'll see you in another video, man. Peace.